What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's Lex, and today we're going to be talking about SssniperWolf. Now, if you guys don't know, SssniperWolf has been on the news lately because she has doxed Jacksfilms, another fellow YouTuber, not too long ago. Nothing has really happened to SssniperWolf. People expected her to get banned, but YouTube has not responded just yet. But apparently the situation is getting worse, and we're going to see what Voice Critical has to say for us. A little context is Jacksfilms has been against SssniperWolf for a long time for her React content. I guess Jacksfilms is someone who's against reaction content. I personally do react to other people's content. I do try my best to give them credit where credit is due. I don't think there's anything wrong with it per se, but you know, some people do not agree with it. It's a heavily discussed topic right now, and it was a heavily discussed topic before as well. So we're gonna get into exactly what is going on with the Sniper Wolf situation. Let's check it out.
Right now, Sniper Wolf is a lot like the aliens on the Buzz Lightyear ride at Disney World, just getting blasted. Every single corner of the internet is coming together to talk about
that. Is like such a obscure thing to say. Like, how does he think about these things like that? Like, I wouldn't even think about like a freaking universal freaking alien shooting at it. Like, that's a ride. How does he think that?
Sniper Wolf situation and the doxing against a fellow YouTuber, Jacksfilms. From the surface to the shadowy underbelly of the internet, everyone is discussing it. YouTubers, Redditors, if Yahoo...
And so are we discussing it right now, dude. What SssniperWolf did was insane and very creepy. And the fact that nothing has happened to her just yet is really... I don't even know what is going on with YouTube or what are they thinking. Like, the fact that she did that, like, that just shows that there is favoritism in the world that we're in.
Answers still existed, there'd be 50 threads about this by now. I mean, it is everywhere. It's remarkable how big it's become. I'll give you the brief nutshell on it in case you don't know what I'm referring to, but I know you do. If you're watching this video right now on the internet, you are at least loosely familiar with who she is and what she just did.
Absolutely, bro. There is no way that you missed that. There is no way that you haven't heard that. If you're a gamer, if you're a YouTuber, if you're anybody in the gaming space, you have to have heard this story. There's no way that you've missed this.
Because she just broke one of the 10 commandments of being online. She took an internet dispute into the god-forsaken wasteland we call the corporeal dimension, the real world.
The what?
Wake the fuck up, samurai. Usually, internet beef is just served up medium rare.
Bro, freaking Moist is just so good at these obscure tidbits. Like, he's just so funny when it comes down to it. He's so witty. Like, who even thinks about that, right? Like, how does he come up with this shit in his mind, in this Charlie Chocolate Factory of a mind?
Online, but she served this beef medium dare you to commit a crime. Man, that shit was lame. But yeah, well, kind of like Dr. Seuss rhyming that one, actually, kind of fire. But what I'm saying is, what started is just Jacksfilms making fun of Sniper Wolf for her content and pointing out that what she's doing is bad, escalated into her being...
Alright, it wasn't just that. It wasn't just that. He might be minimizing for the sake of the video because this is a preface to a bigger and larger point. But I think that Jacksfilm was constantly making videos about her, and almost SssniperWolf said that it was almost like harassment in the point. I guess I could kind of agree with that in a sense, because he was kind of like making fun of her, and each video was him reacting to her, but it was just for a bigger picture of like reaction content is bad. I think that's Jacksfilms point of view, is that the reaction is not the best form of content in his opinion. I think
so upset about it that she found his address, went to his address, posted it on her Instagram, not the address per se, but just posted his house on her Instagram, bragging about it, saying, you know, it's time we talk it out like adults. Which, of course, is the furthest thing from...
By the way, I gotta say that, like, how did you even get his address in the first place? That means you have people researching his thing, or you did research on him, or I don't even know how you came to even do that. But to ask fans if it's okay what you're about to do, and then the next sentence you say is, let's talk like adults, but you're showing up at somebody's house that you have no familiarity with, you have no like relationship like that with them, where you could just do that to have a conversation like that. Like, that is just crying out loud like entitlement. You cannot just do stupid things like that. You know, God forbid something happens to him and his family, or God forbid something happened to her. Like, why would you even think that that was okay? And to ask your fans, hey, should I do this or not? Like, they are the dictators of what you're gonna do. Like, you're insane, bro.
Talking it out, unless of course you're an unhinged lunatic. This is just senseless yapping to try and justify what she did here. You can't do that. It's borderline criminal. So she posted...
Borderline criminal? I think it is criminal, no?
It 5 million of her Instagram followers to see, which of course made Jacksfilms and his wife feel very unsafe in their home. And since then, she hasn't said anything about it. I think it's only a matter of time before she makes an apology video. It's really just an if instead of, nope. The expression is, it's a matter of when instead of if. I think it's inevitable. And
you know that apology video is gonna have no acknowledgement of the mistake. There's not gonna be any accountability. She's gonna say that it was his fault from the first place of harassing her. Because you gotta see these type of people before they even come onto the camera. Like, all her actions leading up to this is not gonna show somebody who is like, oh, I'm gonna be accountable for my action. If YouTube is telling her, hey, we're not even gonna ban you in this moment, we're not gonna even mention anything at the moment, like, what is going on, you know?
The only thing that remains to be seen is where it's going to rank on the YouTuber apology tier list. So that's the only question I have left about that. But this is only the beginning of a really bad week for SssniperWolf. She's having a worse week than King Kong fans right now with the release of the worst...
Oh my god, bro, guys. That game looked horrendous. It looked horrible. The fact that they're still selling it for $39.99 is insane that it came out on launch like that. If you guys have seen some gameplay recently, it's insane. It's really bad. The fact that it got into the market in the first place is just unforgivable. But that's another video for another time. Let's get back into
Game of the Year, Rise of Kong. She also had a lot of people digging through her catalog of content, and they found something very not good, very weird, let's say. I can't show you anything here because I think there is a chance that it's completely against YouTube's terms.
Listen, when everybody goes digging into your past life, people are going to find something. People will find something when it comes down to it. People are going to scavenge everything around, look at everything with a magnifying glass, and make sure they're not missing anything, and list through all types of the content that you've made and just random shit, you know? So it's insane out there, bro, when people are actively engaging towards you, you know?
It's her encouraging some seemingly underage individuals to do some degenerate acts on video, and the way she encouraged them was almost like a wager you'd see out of a bad Brazzers film. She wagered her tits, saying that if these underage looking individuals did what she asked them to do,
and you gotta get that anybody's just trying to see a good pair of tits. Anybody. So when you wager a good pair of tits, it's almost like a trump card.
Show tits. This was a video back in like 2014. They do it, and then like one of the kids' moms walks in. It's like very fucking odd, awful shit. And this is just another, you know, alarming thing that SssniperWolf has in the backlog of her lore. As I was rendering this video, people found another seemingly illegal, potentially, piece of...
Bro, Omegle is like one of those websites that is like full of debauchery, full of freaking like child predators. Like what are you even doing on Omegle? Omegle is one of those websites that you have to stay away from. Just a fucking chat room of like degenerates and people who are just trying to find nonsense. Like, I just don't understand how there was like a whole culture around Omegle. Omegle was just waiting for you to pop up with a dick in front of you, dude. It just... That's all it was, man. Big dicks and child predators on that. Like, I don't understand why somebody would even go on there in the first place. I know there was like content oriented around Omegle. Like, how long ago was that? Maybe like years back. I can't remember, but I remember when I was younger, like Omegle was such a big thing. I never got on it to myself, but when it came down to Omegle, it's almost like you turned on the camera and you turned into a goblin yourself, dude. It was insane.
The content that SssniperWolf has on her channel. In this video, she's talking to strangers on Omegle, and then she meets this girl who says that she's 16, and then agrees to show each other their boobs, and the 16-year-old flashes the camera, which SssniperWolf does censor, but that doesn't make it okay. I'm pretty sure that's still illegal. You can't just have an underage person being sexual.
This is what, in the time of like, okay, and no time should you even be asking children like anything, right? But this is during the time where edgy content was at its like peak. Well, when we talk about Shane Dawson, we talk about SssniperWolf, and we talk about everybody who was around during that time, people were just kind of like, it was kind of the wild, wild west, and it was insane, dude, like what was going on and what we accepted as a society back in the day. But thank God that things have gotten better and that we have actually, you know, found some sort of kind of limit to our freaking dumb shit that we do now.
On video, and then just say, hey, wait a minute, Buster, it's fine because it's censored. It's like, what the fuck? And the video is still up right now. And in the whole clip, it's not like there was some like, just kidding, not actually 16, actually in my 20s. There was nothing like that. After that happens, SssniperWolf just said that, she's fake like her or whatever, and then disconnects. So it really seems like she just had a minor flash the camera on a YouTube video. It's fucking crazy.
And I bet you anything she didn't even do it back to her, dude. She just was trying to get people to do things like, oh my god, bro. Once you go back in people's history, you could get to see like little crumbs of like exactly who they are, how manipulative they can be. It's like once you start seeing this type of shit, it just manifests into something grander and greater. Hopefully people do change, and that's kind of the goal of life, right? You changing for the better. But the reality is, it's just, you got to be careful, man. You got to be careful with people.
Now I'm going to go ahead and mention something I've seen a few comments talking about to explain what actually happened in this clip here, and I don't know if this is like the SssniperWolf Defense Squadron operating under DEFCON protocol, so they're in full force trying to figure out any way of explaining this really awful shit, but I'm going to go ahead and share this anyway just to be complete with the subject. There's some people saying that that wasn't actually a 16-year-old, it was a bot that was just spamming the chat, and SssniperWolf was like, reacting to it, knowing it was a bot, knowing it wasn't an actual 16.
Yeah, but how? Yeah, but like still,
year-old, and that the person, the girl in the video clip, was just a like cam model or something that's supposed to drive people to some kind of cam site. I don't know enough about Omegle to know if that's something that happens, but regardless, this is still an extremely concerning clip. But rest assured, SssniperWolf fans, there's still one entity still very...
You can like debunk one thing, but the reality is that there's still a lot more to get going, and we still haven't gotten to the fact of the doxing, right? So it's like, okay, sure, like there's little things that you could say, oh, this happened or that happened, but there's a grander issue going on, and the reality is that we have evidence to that. There's literal, people who saw it, who clipped it, who screenshot it. So I don't know how we could get just muddy in the waters, right?
Very much on the side of SssniperWolf, and that's YouTube. This is the update I want to give today. It wasn't so much just going over like where everything's at here. It's YouTube's response to all this because it is so big.
Yeah, dude, it's been horrible.
Doxing is, it's borderline criminal, of course. What would YouTube's response be? They have cracked down on that kind of activity very hard in the past. So obviously, most people were expecting some kind of action to be taken. It's just wondering what. So far, they've only made like vague references to it or vaguely talked around it.
I really wonder why YouTube is not doing anything right now in this moment. I don't know if they're trying to like protect their bottom line. I don't know if it's something they want the creators to figure out themselves, or I don't know exactly what they want to do or let the smoke settle, but you kind of have to do something about it because you kind of need to set an example that this is not okay behavior. You cannot be harassing people. You cannot be doxing people. It doesn't matter like what size of channel you are. You can't just be doing something stupid like that. I don't know if you guys remember, but when Jake Paul went to Post Malone's house, and that was kind of a doxing, but even though it was accidental, you still can't do that,
Hasn't been any kind of statement from them about what they plan to do about this situation, aside from a couple of tidbits that they've talked about that seem to indicate that they're not going to do anything. But I don't think anything's 100% confirmed as like this is the path they're taking. But they have publicly made this tweet in the midst of all this. Would it be too meta to do a reaction video to a reaction video? Which is such a lame fucking ChatGPT generated tweet. That is like the most how do you do fellow kids shit ever.
I hate that. You know what I don't like today? Like it works out sometimes, but sometimes it's so cringy. Whenever like Wendy's or like McDonald's or like one of those like fast food chains or like one of these big conglomerates, they end up doing like these tweet people. They end up hiring like a tweet team that's supposed to be like funny or supposed to be like ironic. But the reality is it's just sometimes it's really unfunny and cringy. Sometimes it works, I get it, like when there's beefs between like Arby's and Wendy's, but like sometimes it's just like, what are you doing, bro? Like, come on.
And comes at the worst possible time because SssniperWolf is a reactor to TikTok content and all that, so clearly this is very poorly timed, unless of course this is their way of like trying to show support for SssniperWolf, which it very well could be. They have made a lot of tweets about her, all very positive.
But how could you report? I mean, how could you not agree with? Okay, you can like not like Jacksfilms, or you cannot like SssniperWolf, but if we're just looking at it based on the fact of the action, like how could you not agree that what she did was stepping out of the line? How could you not agree that what she did was obviously something that is not okay and is a bannable offense? I don't understand how YouTube themselves is carrying this way and kind of make a lighting out of it. Like the reality is that like these guys are obviously having some sort of issues with one another, but come on, you can't do certain things at the same time, you know? You can't just say, well, you can't have favoritism for SS, or you can have favoritism for Jack and just say, oh, like, whatever, dude. Like, it's just, they got to figure it out themselves. No, you're the platform and you got to do something about it. That way people learn from her and say, you can't make these type of mistakes on this. You can't do this type of shit, you know?
In fact, this whole situation between Jacksfilms and SssniperWolf really started catching fire when YouTube themselves made a tweet saying, "Where does SssniperWolf get her ideas?" And then they also made another one talking about how, like, SssniperWolf is our turbo super creator of the year. Unbelievable. So just like these
she must be a YouTube darling.
Positive, pumping their fist SssniperWolf fan tweets. This one, of course, got community noted. For additional context, it needs to be known that this tweet was written in the wake of a controversy regarding a reaction YouTuber SssniperWolf who recently leaked the personal information of a fellow creator on the platform, Jacksfilms.
I really like... Okay, say what you got to say about Elon Musk, but the fact that he brought this in, this like context, I love that. I love that because when people are putting like fake ads, or people are talking about fake promotions, or they're talking about fake shit, like this will call it out immediately. And the fact that he did that, that's amazing. I really like that update that they did for X.
And then it cites one of the many sources. I almost can't help but be impressed and like appreciate how bold this tweet from YouTube is here, though. To just drop this shit would be too meta to react to a reaction video. Oh, like, they know this is going on. Like, they have loosely acknowledged the situation in a couple of tweets. Like, they know this is happening because everyone on the internet knows that this is happening right now. This is the hottest shit there is. This shit is leaving the toilet bowl steaming. It's so hot.
Bro, that's gross.
Can't be oblivious to it. But whatever ghoul is running this account must be really kept isolated in some kind of sensory deprivation.
No, they're not, bro. They're probably trying to figure out some PR move, or they're probably trying to talk to SssniperWolf directly. Like, there's something going on that us, the public, do not know. And apparently Jacksfilm might not know himself. Like, maybe some legal issue or something. Like, I could see Jacksfilm suing the fuck out of SssniperWolf. I could see that, you know, for endangering her family and stuff, or his family.
Tank, cut off from the rest of the world and forced to just occasionally drop a bad tweet, because there is just some crazy disconnect here to think that this tweet was a good idea. Because I really don't believe that what they're trying to do with this is, you know, slyly, you know, hey, SssniperWolf's pretty fucking awesome, right? Like in the middle of this, I don't think they'd be that dumb. I don't think they'd be that stupid. I really think this is just like a poorly timed bad tweet from them. Of course, I have no evidence to corroborate that theory.
Yeah, but like YouTube is one of the biggest companies in the world, and they know most of the creators, unless they are so detached from their own like creation that they don't know what is going on, like when it comes to trends or when it comes to like the algorithm and stuff. I really don't see them detached like that, but if they really are, then they need to get their foot back in the, you know, on the field and start to realize what is going on out there, dude. You can't just be a big company, work at YouTube, and not know anything about YouTube, you know? That's just really bad.
Just me here thumbing my ass, just speculating. It's at the end of the day, it's just a game theory. I just really don't believe that they would be so bold to just, in the middle of this, give like a big nod to SssniperWolf. The entire internet is waiting on bated breath to see what they're going to do. Jacksfilms is calling for like demonetization or like even deplatforming because of the severity of the rule breaking. A lot of other people are rallying behind those things as well. The bare minimum people are looking to see is some kind of punishment.
Exactly.
SssniperWolf here in order
to... if she leaves scot-free, this is going to be a turning of events, dude, because it's going to turn everybody against YouTube. It could be that massive. I don't know if that would happen, but realistically, it could cause people to be in an uproar and be like, hey, like, this is obviously wrong, and the fact that you did nothing about it is just going to make everything much, much worse.
To prove to the community that YouTube isn't playing favorites when it comes to their most extreme rules. And I don't think that's an unreasonable request to just want to know, what are you going to do about it, YouTube? Because this is a big deal, and this is something that other creators in the past have gotten big trouble for. So why would SssniperWolf get a pass on that?
That is weird.
If she does, can you explain why? Right? Like, there'd have to be
She's a YouTube darling.
I think the obvious reason would be she brings in so much money to the platform, and YouTube loves her so much that they wouldn't ever take action against her, even if she went on camera and
see. That's the thing about this freaking atmosphere that we're in, right? The YouTube atmosphere, live streaming atmosphere. It's always about the people, and I think you can even take this out into the real world, is that it's always the people, the fact that if she has a good relationship with YouTube, they're obviously going to treat her with like some other form of respect than they would another YouTuber or somebody they don't have a good relationship with. So yeah, man, always understand that if you affect the bottom line in a good way, they always take care of you.
Sort of 5 puppies, but just communicate what you're going to do here. Like, I don't think this is a situation that would take a super long time for them to decide what they're going to do. So I'm kind of under the assumption that they're not going to do anything about it.
Wow.
They might make another more direct acknowledgement of it, but they'll probably just be a more slap on the wrist. But again, I'm just spitballing here based on YouTube's past, because there is favoritism on the platform, as there is on every other platform. YouTube's no exception there, and I think it's pretty clear that she's going to get some kind of special treatment when it comes to this rule breaking, which really sucks. And like, the damage is very much done to Jacksfilms and his wife. As he mentioned, they don't really feel safe in their home anymore, which is...
Yeah, I wanted to know like an update about that. Has there been people going to his house? Like, what exactly is going on? Does he even want to mention it? Like, that's kind of bad. Like, are they gonna move? Like, the fact that they have to go through that, and the fact that like SssniperWolf just goes back to her cozy home with no consequence is like kind of shitty. Like, yeah, you made a mistake, but you still have to take responsibility for that mistake. We all make mistakes, and those consequences come out of that.
It's totally understandable. She dumped a picture of their house for all of her 5 million followers to see. And on Instagram, I think the followers there are going to be a degree higher in terms of their support of SssniperWolf than like her YouTube audience. Like, I think those are going to be where the super fans are, and they probably fucking hate Jacksfilms, and now they have this. It makes sense why he'd feel unsafe. I mean, it's a pretty evil thing to do. And I wouldn't be surprised if she got even more diabolical with it and turned his house into like a Pokemon Go stop or something. Like,
oh my really god, bro! Imagine, bro. Hey, there's a Charizard here, bro, and Jacksfilms and his family's all sleeping and shit. Yeah, dude, we need to get a Charizard, man. We need a Charizard. There's a shiny Mewtwo out here, dude. Come on, let's go get it. Oh, are you Jacksfilms? And he's just trying to like walk his dogs to go use the restroom. And he's like, oh crap. And SssniperWolf back in her car, just like, yes. You know what I mean? Just basking in the glory.
To put their location out there as best she could. And she did make another post that Jacksfilms also made a tweet about, where she was poking fun at this situation lightly, saying like, we pull up to your house, what would you do? Which is so unbelievably tone deaf that she doesn't understand the severity of what she did. The whole situation. No, dude,
she doesn't.
I just wanted to give a little update here because it's already been like 5 days. So that's where everything's at. I guess we'll continue to wait and see what YouTube...
Dude, YouTube needs to do something about this immediately. They should have done something when it first happened. They should have made some sort of statement out there. They should have contacted SssniperWolf. They should have contacted Jacksfilms. They should have done something, because this is obviously not okay. Does not matter if you're a YouTube darling like SS is. Like, the reality is this. Why am I even giving her the respect of saying the 2 S's before her name? Like, SssniperWolf is obviously toxic and entitled at this point. If she's making tweets about him after the aftermath, like, what are you doing? You obviously have some issues with yourself, and I feel bad for Jacksfilms. Although I do understand to a certain extent, right? To a certain extent, I don't excuse also his behavior when it comes to reacting content. You can have your opinion, but if you make 100,000 videos about somebody, it can become a little bit of a situation. I could see her getting to a point where she feels uncomfortable about it. Whether the reality of her mind state is that, whether the reality of his mind state is that, like, you have to understand, like, just contextually, like, this is all fucked up and this is some wrong ass shit going on. There's a joke gone too far and they have to do something about it. And YouTube is sitting down doing nothing on their fucking throne. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do? Say something, dude. And that's just the reality of what is going on right now. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you smash that sub button, because with your help, we can definitely get to 500 subs, because we are gonna reach our goal. And I know that you guys are gonna help me reach that goal. But with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day and peace.